Welcome back. Did you know that Indigenous women are 10 times more likely to go missing or be murdered than any other race in North America? That's one of the reasons Michele-Elise Burnett, who is from the Métis Nation of Ontario with Algonquin roots, created the Red Dress exhibit. So she's joining us now to share the importance of the exhibit and the stories it highlights. Welcome, Michele-Elise. I'm so happy you're here with us. Tell us a little bit about the exhibit.
Well, thank you for having me. The exhibit actually is to bring more awareness and to educate the mass public about these atrocities that are happening right now. It's a crisis that's happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For those who have never heard of the Red Dress project before, what's the significance of the red dresses? And how do they highlight this issue of missing and murdered Indigenous women?
The Red Dress exhibit started back in 2010 with Jamie Black, an artist who just started to hang these dresses, once again, to create awareness. And she would do it in public areas, and people would be asking that question. So it helps to start that dialogue of what is that? So since then, people have been hanging red dresses. We have May 5th, which is also an awareness day. We have Sisters in Spirit, which is on October 4th. And this vision that I had was to take that concept, to bring the awareness, and to educate people, but through many different levels. So these are installations that have been created by family members of their loved ones that have either gone missing or have, unfortunately, transitioned to the spirit world. So they can look at these beautiful dresses that now have a voice. They have a journey now to go and educate people as they move forward. But also we recorded every family member to tell that story of their loved one. So, it has many different dimensions. So when you're alone in that one space with that spirit, it comes alive, and it's very powerful.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that process of being involved in the creation of the Red Dress, but I want to sort of bring people to the exhibit to have them feel what that feels like. So during your exhibit, participants move through a residential school door. There's powerful music that can be heard during this experience. So why don't we listen to that right now and get a sense of it? Can you talk about what we just heard? It's emotional, isn't it?
It is. It's very powerful. Residential school, that was the children, wildflowers were growing in the fields because they were out there playing, and you could hear that drum beat just starting to drown out the children's laughter and being whisked away into residential school. And that's that door that closed behind them. And then it was silence. Our voice was silenced. Our culture was taken. Our traditions were taken. We lost ourselves in this colonial sort of system to get rid of the Indian problem. So we all of a sudden became a problem, and we didn't know that.
There is such a strong link between what happened in residential schools and what is happening right now, this moment, as we sit here and speak, with Indigenous women who have been murdered or who have gone missing. Can you explain that link?
Well, that was when we lost everything. We lost our culture, our language. We became basically what the government wanted to, the environment that the government wanted to impose upon us, which is to get rid of the Indian problem and to whitewash us so that we can assimilate. But with that, we were locked up and put away almost. They basically told us what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and why to do it. Our population is genocide. In a way, they took these children away. People were marginalized, dehumanized, abused, and then that just sort of falls into this generational trauma where when they would marry another person from residential school, that's all they knew was basically that trauma that they went through, that abuse. So they continued, and that's unfortunate. So poverty and lack of drinking water, you don't feel like you're welcome. You don't feel like you
count.
You count, exactly.
And it happens internally within Indigenous communities, and it happens externally, because that's the message that everyone is getting. They are not human. They do not count.
They do not count.
And then we're in a situation where women are literally being murdered because they do not count. So this is, you know, the whole process is really emotional. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of layers to it. But the families that are working on these dresses, they are also going through their own process, their own mourning process, their own grieving process. Are there stories that stand out to you that happened within that process?
Absolutely. I don't know if you can see this dress over here. This dress here is from a survivor, and it's called Hope. So on one side, it's very dark, and you can see that was her dark period. And then on the other side is light. You see that she survived. So she's coming out, she has eagle wings underneath her arms, and she's trying to let people know that there's hope. We need to educate. Another family came together, and they had not talked about what had happened to their great-grandmother, who was brutally murdered in 1955. 3 generations came together to create this dress of Lizzy, to have her voice heard again, and to also understand what was part of their blood DNA, blood memory.
So there's a lot of healing happening through the process, and I know you want to take the show along on the road so that all Canadians can have a part of it. The dream is to have this exhibit go right across Canada, isn't it?
All over Turtle Island.
Yes.
And everywhere we go, we'll bring in another dress so that these spirits, these voices can walk together and tell their stories.
Yeah, Michele-Elise, thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. It is time for a short break. Stay with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really...
Started crying.